All right, what's going on, guys? Another day in paradise. Let me here we go. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I think you can. Shout out to you guys who are tuned in, even the replay gang. Shout out to all you guys. So the title of the stream, what is his issue with the word mulatto? I'm going to talk about Immortal Technique, who's, at this point kind of an old school rapper cuz when I was in high school, he was kind of the guy. He quote unquote represented the underground hip hop scene. He's kind of antiquated now, and has been for a minute, but he was kind of popular. I mean, this is before the whole Instagram, TikTok, Facebook kind of social media age, right? This is basically when all we had was like, MySpace, back then. So I'm in my mid 30s. So I'm a millennial guy. So I'm showing my age, but yeah, the immortal technique was kind of more relevant like 20 years ago, or maybe a little less than that, 15 years ago or so. But there's a clip of him that I saw. First, I saw on TikTok, but it's here on YouTube. I'm going to share it with you guys right now. Give some commentary where he's against the word mulatto. I've been wanting to talk about this for a minute. I find it interesting, especially with a guy like Immortal Technique. You know, who's so proud of his 25% African, DNA. He calls himself Afro-Peruvian Immortal Technique, but he's like, I don't know. I think it's his father who's like half. He's like a mulatto. His father's mulatto. His father is like half black, and his mom's like Hispanic, Peruvian. So this dude is only like 25% black, but he holds on to it so much. But he needs to. He needs it to be in order to have relevancy within that kind of East Coast, New York. I think he's from Harlem, like the hip hop scene out there, especially back then. Maybe nowadays a little different because Latinos have definitely raised, through the ranks as far as cutting out their own niche within hip hop. I mean, you got all the Chicano rap stuff, but even then, like with the Puerto Rican rappers and Cuban rappers, all these like Hispanic rappers popping up, it's like they're kind of already made. Now, hip hop is such a global genre. It doesn't matter. I mean, they can talk crap about the white boys all they want, but it's music. People like good music. And the Bantus let in their white mass anyways. It doesn't matter. They did that with jazz 100 years ago. I don't know why they cry today about people like Post Malone, like this, or Kid Rock. Prior to Post Malone, Kid Rock, it's the same playbook. I mean, but the Bantus have been doing this for 100 years. I mean, with jazz, they did this with jazz. Like in blues, and then like the 60s, 70s. I don't know. Like they continue to cry and they act dumb and confused when they see people like Post Malone. That's what gets me. And I see some of that conversation over on X on Twitter. Like they have like some animosity towards like Post Malone. They're like, oh, he switched up on us. I'm like, this has been you people throughout history. Like you want the validation of Angelo so badly. You bring them in, you invite them to the cookout, they switch up on you and you act surprised. Like with this Post Malone, when I first saw this Post Malone, tattoos on his face and the grill, I was like, I already knew, man, it's a matter of time before he does some country or something else. He picks up a guitar and does something else. Like, it's like you people are so predictable. Like, you love and worship Angelos. And then you're so hurt and sad when they basically switch it up on you. Very sad and pathetic. I mean, that's just one example. But going back to the point, this guy, because nothing, no hate against Post Malone. I haven't heard him say anything anti-mulatto or against the word mulatto. But this dude, Immortal Technique, who's like 25% African. So he thinks he can fix his lip to talk about the word mulatto. We're gonna get into it because when we listen, we analyze his music. Immortal Technique, he's perfectly okay with all the other slurs for every race on the planet. He'll use every slur to every racial group on the planet. But where he draws the line is with the word mulatto, which is not a slur. But he draws the line with that word. Why is that? Because they have an agenda. They are Afrocentric. They are pro black. They are black supremacists who are against the mulatto identity. And yeah, we're going to call it out. We see you, we're analyzing you, and we're calling it out. You people don't have a voice over us. We have the microphone now, and we're letting you know what's up. Firstly, I want to shout out to a cat, El Mulaton, because I dropped a video. I uploaded it to this channel, YouTube short. It was over on TikTok, kind of replying to another dude's comment. It was a mulatto cat, and basically the whole Drake kind of situation, right? And I played his track right now, Drake, the intro. What did I miss track? Banging track #1 right now. Spotify, Apple, #1 banging track. And it's a lesson learned when these mulattoes who identify as black, they get burnt by the Bantu. Lesson learned. I mean, Drake is the macrocosm of all of that, you know. And I've realized that was my mulatto wake up call. This was back in like 2019, so several years ago. But Drake is receiving his right now at the like a colossal level. And a lot of you guys and gals, and females as well, like you receive it at a different points and stages in your life, wherever you're at. You come to the realization, oh, wait a second, you're not the same as them. And they'll play games and try to trick you and try to like wheel you back in, pull you back in. But you realize eventually they'll let you know you're not like them. Like that song, right? Not like us. You're not the same as those people. And I feel like most of my audience, my core audience, the core supporters, I will say, because my audience is kind of large, obviously, now. Everybody kind of tunes in, listens in, the ops or whatever, the saboteurs. But the core audience, the supporters, the people who hit the like button or comment, whatever, like they're mulatto identified. They kind of get it. They realize now you're your own group. It's up to you to accept that reality. But going back to this, shout out to El Mulaton. He posted a comment like so it looks like an hour ago. It was over on TikTok. He says black identified mulattoes always have to walk on eggshells in a black community. Exactly. They can't say the wrong thing or they'll be outgrouped. And then he puts here, and one misstep will see you outgrouped. Exactly. I'm reading it, but I'm like thinking ahead as I'm reading it, looking at my phone right now while I'm talking to you guys. Yeah, it's exactly like they have to walk on eggshells. If they say the wrong thing, they will be outgrouped. Period. A lot of mulattoes are coming to that realization. This isn't like full membership access. This is a conditional relationship. But remember, the dark skinned Bantu, they can do whatever the hell they want. They can talk about your parents, talk about your white mom, and they're still considered down with the hood from the community. It's only you, the mulatto, they want to poke at and try to like dissect your identity. I'm not dealing with these people like that. If they're not paying me, giving me money, and giving me anything, I don't care. They can cry to their Anglo Massa. Okay, I don't care. They need to give me something. And then he puts right here Drake's mistake because he put this comment on the video I uploaded, basically talking about Drake, who's getting the biggest mulatto wake up call imaginable. Literally, it's a macrocosm. I'm telling you guys, like, I'm milking this Drake stuff because this is perfect and great for my content and my material. And this is a lesson, a life lesson to all these mulattoes who think they can do the activism, they can be little gay, LGBT, pro-whack, academic activists and fight for black and all this stuff. And then once they turn on your ass, you're going to be lost without a home. I mean, some of these mulattoes, they'll just run to the LGBT community and just be whatever, like, but if they have a strong sense and pride in the mulatto identity, they realize like the pro-black stuff, like they are going to put you in a corner. So finishing off the comment, El Mulaton puts, Drake's mistake was being more successful than the dark-skinned males. And that's it. There's a guy who put a comment and it was basically like, well, Lotto's the biggest star in hip hop. Yeah, because she's female. Like, and that's their preference, right? That's why Saweetie, who's like Blasian, she's like half Asian, half black. She was a big star. That's why they had Jen Aiko, her, she's Blasian, another Blasian. She's a big star. They got Mariah Carey. They got, all, yeah. So for the ladies, yeah, like Big Lotto, yeah, she's a big star, but she had to change her name. That's the key thing. That's a criteria. They have conditions attached to it. They bullied her, maneuvered her to change her name to acquiesce. And then they're like, okay, they'll make her the biggest star. That's how it is. But she's female, right? That's the thing. But with a guy like Drake, and just like what shout out to El Mulaton, he understands this. He saw this, or he put a comment. He's like, basically, he's witnessed what was going on, the scenario in the dark skinned Bantu community in hip hop, where his biggest mistake was being more successful than dark skins, than the Bantu. And that's where the jealousy came in. That's why they hated on him, and they're punishing him. And they're getting the Anglo and the Zionist, the Nazi and Zionist community using their power and wealth and media influence coming together. UMG, the Grammys, the NFL, all the titans and giants in the media apparatus coming together. The Bantus, the Anglos, and the Zionists, the Nazis coming together to humble the mulatto man. And this is to push their agenda to maneuver you to be a subordinate class of males serving other people as their foot soldiers. Do you find that acceptable? Those of you who listen to me, who tune into me, you don't find that acceptable. You don't. You don't accept that reality, and you challenge that reality. That's why you're over here. But shout out to El Mulaton who pointed it out. Yeah, that's the main thing. And even I saw a video from Angry Man. It's like a year ago, kind of when the beef kind of started. Angry Man, because he's basically a Team Drake, Team Light Skin. Shout out to him. Was the only dude out here. And because everyone else is, basically on Kendrick's knob with the fake pro-act shit, BLM, Taylor Swift, liberal Democrat Party bullshit. And what Angry Man was saying was basically like some of the same sentiments. Was basically like, the problem with Drake is he tried to be cool with these niggas. That's all it is. He tried to be down with the Bantus and be from the hood, and he gave them too much love to get in their circles, shouting everybody out, doing collabs. The only dude who kind of like held him down with the whole beef thing, I think 50 Cent didn't like throw Drake under the bus, and I don't think Drake has a collab with 50 Cent. But maybe 50 Cent, it's something else that's personal within the music industry. It's some deep politics in the hip hop industry. That's why 50 Cent was clowning P. Diddy, and he has some other stuff going on. But the West Coast cat, The Game, who, like I said, when I was talking about Immortal Technique, we're gonna get more into Immortal Technique. But during my era, my time, I'm a West Coast dude. Immortal Technique's from the East Coast, right? Harlem, under quote unquote underground, but he's like a pop dude. All the white boys like him, right? So he's a pop. He's always been, but that's just the marketing with the whole hood swag and from the hood creds and all this fake shit. The hip hop with Kendrick because he's from Compton, but he's a fucking pussy, kissing up to Taylor Swift. All the fake hood shit, with hip hop and the marketing. And then they hate on Drake because he's from Canada, but his songs are better. He has better music. It's undeniable. And yeah. So what I'm getting at is that back then in like the early 2000s, I'm a West Coast dude, and the Game was big because at that time, so from the 90s, the West Coast hip hop scene, they basically had it on lock. We know the early 90s with NWA, and then even like you had MC8, because you had all these movies that came out and they featured rappers. That was a big thing at that time with Tupac Shakur and Janet Jackson and Poetic Justice. I know Tupac did that flick and Juice, and he also did another one, Above the Rim, Tupac. And those are good movies. I like Tupac, his music and all his movies. He's good. He's a good artist. He's definitely probably say the most well-respected hip hop artist or rapper in history of the music of the scene. Tupac, for sure. I'm a 90s baby, and I remember that time. Like, he had a major impact. And LL Cool J in the scene. He's a Queens cat, New York cat, East Coast cat. So he did some movies. And Ice Cube, West Coast cat, LA cat. He was doing movies. Friday came out, was the biggest flick in the 1996, 1997, around the era. MC8, he was in was it Don't Be a Menace, or was it Don't Be a Menace? Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, Don't Be a Menace was MC8 was in that flick. He was the West Coast cat from Compton or from South Central. So during that time, a lot of the West Coast shit was popping. There a lot of West Coast rappers who were doing movies as well, doing features. So the music scene was big, the hip hop scene from when I was a kid. But during the early 2000s, it kind of started to shift because I think Ice Cube was going more towards like the movies, like the kid movies and stuff. So his kind of image was shifting, and obviously with the deceased Tupac and Biggie and all that stuff. So, and then Bone Thugs and Harmony was already kind of getting big. They're from the Midwest, Ohio, and so yeah, the music kind of shifted. It was more towards turning south. I remember when Outkast came out, like the late 90s, early 2000s. And then that's kind of when they started to pick up. And they're from Atlanta. They're from Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia. So the South really started to pick up. And then Ying Yang Twins, and then Little John, and then T.I. So the South was really picking up the hip hop scene with all the crunk stuff. And then right after the South, like then the New York cats started picking back up as far as like the G Unit stuff with 50 Cent. I don't know why I'm getting into all this, the history of hip hop. I like hip hop. Like I said, I was born and raised like hip hop, but I don't know why I just segued into all this hip hop stuff. But yeah, this I've seen the changes of it. I've seen the changes from as a kid to where I'm at now, and where like from the West Coast stuff into then back into the South, they got their recognition, and then back to the East Coast with G Unit, Gorilla Unit, 50 Cent, and all that stuff. So I think 50 Cent, he's kind of been on the sidelines with this Drake stuff, but I think it's personal with him, with some of these industry heads that he's not mentioning, because Drake is going against the whole fucking industry with UMG. They're Jewish paymasters who pay the Bantus and pay the Anglos to orchestrate the entire apparatus. You got DJ Vlad. He's a Jew, okay, and he gives all these Bantus a platform to hate on the mulatto man. So Drake is fighting up against a machine. And I'm trying to get my audience to understand what's really going on. And yeah, so I want to get back into this whole Immortal technique guy. This whole Immortal technique. The reason why I want to hop up on here. Immortal technique. And the name of the stream is what is his issue with the word mulatto? And this Immortal technique is a very vile character. He's a Hispanic who's got his little 25% African. He's going to hold on to that to give himself some legitimacy amongst the Bantus in the industry. But somebody else shared this video on TikTok. Like I said, they have it here on YouTube. That's kind of, par for the course. All the material typically you find on TikTok, you're going to find it here. And for me, I share the same stuff. But I was surprised. Like I saw this Immortal technique. It's like, man, I used to listen to this cat, like 20 years ago. Damn, where did time go? And it's like this guy, he has this video talking that he doesn't like the word mulatto. I'm going to play it for you. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, but this guy says every racial slur in the book against everybody, even against his own people. We're going to get into that. He uses slurs against Hispanics in his songs. He uses the N-word, nigga, in all of his damn songs. And he can do that because he's just like Fat Joe. He got some African in him, so he could say the N-word like Cardi B and all the people. Hey, that the Bantus have opened the floodgates. Good for them. But it's funny, the Bantus are they're gonna tell Drake, you can't say the N-word no more. The Bantus have no power authority to tell mulattoes anything. Okay. But I just think it's funny how the Bantu wants to tell the mulattoes, you can't say nigga no more. But the Bantu's not going to open up their mouth and tell the Hispanic they can't say the N-word. Shout out to one of my supporters. I don't know who it was. I think it was Chief Inspector. It was one of these mulatto men who commented, and they're basically telling me that you had Charlemagne the Fraud with this guy, this Cuban cat. I think it was Takashi 69, and the Charlemagne the Fraud checked him, or no, other way around. Takashi 69 checked Charlemagne the Fraud because Takashi 669 says the N word in all his music. He's like a Cuban Hispanic, I believe, or I don't know what his ethnic extraction, whatever. He's a Hispanic guy. He's not African descent. And Charlemagne the Fraud is telling him, like, why do you say the N word? And this dude just told his black ass to his face, like, who's gonna check me? Who's gonna check me saying the word nigga? And the Bantu didn't say fucking shit. He's not gonna say shit. He's not sitting in front of his Jewish and white Anglo paymasters. See, they only play that shit with the mulatto man. I don't want you to use the word nigga. I want you to identify with how I tell you. You got a black dad and a white mom. According to the white man's one drop rule, In this country, you still gonna be considered black. See, they only play that shit with the mulatto man. But they got a Hispanic guy like Immortal Technique. He's saying nigga in all his fucking songs. He's only 25% black, but they're cool with that. They're not gonna check him. They're not gonna check, South Park Mexican, who's not black at all. I don't even believe he has any black ancestry. He says nigga in all of his damn songs. They're not gonna say anything. They might try to press Fat Joe a little bit, but they're not pressing that other Hispanic, like I just said, Takashi Snitch 9. And he checked that Bantu Charlemagne defraud. And he didn't say shit about it. Of course not. He ain't going to do nothing. He knows his place, right? They're trying to get access to these other communities, these Hispanics, these Asians, these Arabs, and they want to use mulattoes as a bridge, as a tool to get access to everybody else. I just did that short clip with the whole beauty standards, quote unquote, black celebrity, the most pretty black celebrities. I'm like, half of these people are not even black. They're like mixed women. You know, that's how down bad some of them are, where they don't even know what black is. They're claiming all these mulattoes and mixed people who got, Hispanic moms or white moms and shit. And like, they're not even claiming their own women. It's a very bad situation when you analyze them. But we're going to get into this whole mulatto discussion, because why is this Hispanic who capes for the Bantus, who's Afrocentric, why is he fixing his lip to talk about the word mulatto? Why? When he says every racial word in the book, we're going to get into it. But he's fixing his lip about the word mulatto. He doesn't like the word mulatto. He doesn't want you guys to use the word mulatto. But in all of his damn songs, he'll say nigga, he'll say spick and cracker. He'll use every slur for everybody. We're going to get into it. But with the word mulatto, he doesn't want you guys to utter that word. They have an agenda against you. They have an Afrocentric anti-mulatto agenda against you. And they're funded. They're funded by Anglo-Zionist money to be anti-mulatto. We're going to get into it. Let me play this clip.
When white people and black people would have a child back in the day, they would call it a mulatto. That is a racist term, and I'm going to explain why.
That's a racist term. That, according to him, his words. When a black person and a white person would get together, they would have a child, and that child would be mulatto, and that's a racist word. We're like, really? That's a racist word? I'm listening to your music, homie. You use the most vile language and words ever. Oh, but that's art. It's okay. It's just art. You can use all the racist words you want, homie. I'm going to play your clips, homie, because you run your fucking mouth about mulattoes. I'm going to play your clips. So it's no problem. He can use all the racist words for his little rap and his little art and all this stuff. But with the word mulatto, and they got the little soft, little fruity ass music in the background, little piano violin playing, which is to elicit emotion for you dumbass kind of liberal leftist mulattoes caping for the Bantu against your own self-interest, right? But this guy's got a lot of nerve saying that the word mulatto is racist when he uses racist language in every one of his damn songs. All his music is all racist. It's anti-white, anti-imperialism, anti-establishment. The blacks from the hood, they're struggling. Like, that's his whole gimmick in hip hop, to gain validity amongst Bantus. And that's what, shout out to El Mulaton, because that's what he put the comment where he's saying, where it's like, that's Drake's biggest deficit, his biggest fault. And that's what even Angry Man was saying too. Drake's biggest mistake, he should just stick to the R&B, smooth talking the ladies. Like, he has access to the most beautiful women around the planet. He should just stick to that. But he tried to be hard, tried to be down with these people, and that's kind of what caught him up. Then he ran into some little punk ass Kendra Lemoist, some fake ass pro whack, and they're using him as a proxy, a media, industry pet and puppet to go against the top dog. And it's not really working. It's sad because people want the material, they want the work, they want the music. I mean, you can throw out all the slander and lies and all the defamation, but people want to be entertained. people want the music. Like I play the track from Drake. Drake is consistent. He has been with his collaborations and everything. People just want good music. It's summertime. I just put an article out, my newsletter. Enjoy yourself. Go travel. I plan on jumping on a plane, going to a beach in a little bit as well. And it's like just enjoy your life, live your life. And I think with Drake is he makes music for people who want to have a good time. And that's the thing I realize with Drake. He does some love songs and sad songs or whatever, love songs, but when you listen to that song like what did I, what I miss? Like, yeah, he's talking about the people who double crossed him and burnt him, but at the same time, it's kind of liberating because it's through art and poetry where he's talking about, yeah, this is what happened, but this is part of life. You still have to live your life, enjoy yourself. Because I can relate to that track because doing this mulatto shit, man, a lot of people, not a lot, a few other mulatto males tried to burn me and throw me under the bus for drunk criminal baby mamas. It's a very sad situation. And I had to realize, okay, I got to be careful with who I put my trust into and who I kind of support. It's a lesson, but this is at my kind of minimal, microcosm level. But Drake experienced this like at the largest level possible when you have the entire industry media apparatus. Like I said, the Nazis and the Zionists, they're working together to try to damage the mulatto man's reputation, as you've seen with Bob Dylan. I'm probably going to get into that a little bit later. Another stream with Bob Dylan. He's a mulatto man, and he got the Nazis who were like scapegoating him, siding with their Zionist paymasters to scapegoat this mulatto man, Bob Dylan. We're like, what the hell happened? I seen on Elon Musk's X, all these Nazis are all crying about the Zionists every damn day. But whenever they have the opportunity to throw the mulatto man under the bus, they take it. They take it. And they all of a sudden they forget that they're being co-opted, psyoped, and controlled and financed by their Zionist paymasters. They conveniently just forget about that and throw that under the rug. And they'll try to argue with me and tell me that people like Ben Shapiro and these other Zionists that they're not really white. Nah, you guys are all full of shit. As long as these Zionists talk shit about blacks or African descended people, the whites, the Anglos, they grant them into whiteness. That's how fragile they are because they can be overlapped by any group. They fuse with an Asian, they're not Anglo anymore. They got a Hapa. They fuse with Hispanics, they're not Anglo anymore. They fuse with any group, their whole identity is erased, right? So the people closest to them are the Zionists, are the Jews, but they play this dumb game where they try to like kick them out of whiteness or gatekeep whiteness from them, but that's their people. See, because they talk about, well, there's black on black crime, Hispanic on Hispanic crime, and then you have a lot of dumb whites who will tell you, well, there's no such thing as white on white crime. Yes, there is. All these Anglo terrorists who attack these Jews, that is white on white crime. That is your people. You don't want to claim them as yours, but those are your people. And they attack them, right? That's white on white crime. Yeah, they just play stupid with us, but they serve them and use them to neutralize us. Let me continue on with this clip here because I'm going off on something else.
Something down. When white people and black people would have a child back in the day, they would call it a mulatto. That is a racist term, and I'm going to
It's a racist term, but he'll use every other damn racist term in the fucking dictionary when it suits him. But he has an issue with this term mulatto. Look at the image here. He looks very docile right here. He's like much shorter than this Bantu here. The image I'm seeing here. He's like very docile. He doesn't like the word mulatto. No, he has to identify with the Bantu in order to be in good standing with him to get credit in hip hop. Okay, they got Rosa Parks here and this little fruity Bantu they got here who said he dated a mulatto once. Typical Bantu, right? I don't know what the hell this guy's name is. Shaka something. I don't know. Whatever. He's a Sa Neta Bantu lover. You got Frederick Douglass, W. Du Bois, and this other cat here. I forgot that dude's name. Whatever. He's a Caribbean mulatto guy. Let's continue on.
explain why. It means the combination of a horse and a donkey, because mulatto.
He's talking about a horse and a donkey, but I share on my mulatto history channel, mulatto love. Mulattoes have, I just talked about Zoe Kravitz, right? You got Lisa Bonet and Lenny Kravitz. They're both mulattoes. They have a child. They have a mulatto, a healthy child, a healthy, prosperous child. She's very successful. Young lady, she's probably around my age, in her 30s. So, like, who knows where she's going to be at in the next decade, next 10 years. She might get a major role for some flick and it'll just completely catapult her into superstardom. That's usually what it takes in Hollywood. One role, one movie. It's like in music is similar. Music, you get one song that like everybody knows and that will just put you into superstardom. It could happen to Zoe Kravitz. She did Batman, a couple years ago for the Catwoman, and that was her biggest break for sure. But she could, do something else again, man. So for me, I'm looking at Zoe Kravitz like she has all the potential in the world. I really like her. And she's very talented, very beautiful. Like she just has so much potential. And both of her parents are mulatto. So like that's just one example. But this guy using this friggin' horse and donkey analogy, like to put it on us as humans, where it's like they're trying to discredit you from seeing you as your own person, your own autonomy. That's what it is when they use this animalistic analogy. Oh, this is what it means. It means a horse and a donkey. I don't give a fuck what it means. They develop all these words like nigga and all this black and all this terminology to define you and even you Hispanics. And they accept it. They're okay with that. But they want to point the finger at you, mulatto. That's why the mulattoes have a voice. We're challenging these people because we see their agenda. They want to neutralize us. They don't want us to be a competitive group. They want us to serve Bantus and their liberal agenda, which they serve Anglos, they serve whites. So they have control within the apparatus. They want us to fall in line with their standard operating procedure. Not having it, not interested. I will challenge you and dismantle you over here.
Is mullah for mule. The combination of a horse and a donkey creates a mule, but a mule is born impotent. In other words, it can have no children.
You see, that analogy is so flawed. I just already explained this. He said, well, a mule is impotent. It can't have no children. I just told you Zoe Kravitz is one of the most beautiful, talented actresses on the scene. Two mulatto parents. She's mulatta. And so this guy's argument's completely destroyed. No, yeah, he's trying to put this animalistic analogy onto us, which is racist. And he talks about racist terms. We're going to get into this fool. Because like I said, back in the early 2000s, when I was in high school, I used to listen to this cat. Not so much anymore because I realized the gimmick. Pro-commie, anti-imperialist, which is okay, I get it. But see, where you fuck up is you run your mouth about mulattoes. And you didn't think we're going to have a voice. You thought most of these mulattoes, he's from Harlem, New York, whatever. A lot of these mulattoes are sucking off Bantus. They're in the black community, kind of like Drake, trying to be cool with them and get some street cred. But hey, a lot of us, we're stepping out doing our own shit. And we're going to check your ass. We're going to watch your material. We're going to analyze it. We're going to give you our feedback. This is where we're at right now.
In other words, no good can come from the unification of black and white. And anyone that goes to film school can know that this is then seen in the theme of the tragic Negro in all of classical Hollywood cinema. What we have to recognize is that term also exists for our people.
He says that term also exists for our people. I thought you're all the same. I thought you're all a bunch of POCs. We was talking about our people because they talk about solidarity and alliance, a black and brown alliance. So this guy's very conflicted. He's trying to be all like buddy buddy and get in good with the Bantus. He wants to be their little kind of brown Hispanic savior amongst the dark-skinned Bantus. This clip was uploaded a while ago because I mean, look what they're doing with Fat Joe. They're trying to say Fat Joe's Puerto Rican. He doesn't contribute to the FBA hip hop scene, and like Big Pun and these other Hispanics, like who have been in the hip hop scene for years, right? They're trying to kick them out of the whole kind of hip hop community discussion. So I don't know. This guy's kind of a Johnny come lately guy, this Immortal Technique, trying to act like he has some authority, like with this whole black and brown kind of solidarity alliance. But like you're talking shit on mulattoes, homie. Like you're really fucked up in the game. Because I'm telling you, like I'm just one dude. These other mulattoes who are more articulate, more polished, their message, they're coming up. You guys are going to get served big time.
Whole mestizo, right? And we have way too many white mestizos that identify more with Spain. And
he calls them white mestizos who identify with Spain. You just called them white mestizos. Why are you trying to shame them for identifying with what they are, which is Spanish? This is the Afrocentricity. This is it. This Afrocentricity, because he wants to maintain his status. He has a privileged status amongst the Bantus. They look at him as like a Hispanic savior. He's got some 25%. He always, that's his promotion. That's what he kind of boasts himself about. I'm 25. I'm an Afro-Peruvian. That's what he calls himself in his hip hop music. Afro-Peruvian. He's got some black in him. So he's down with the blacks. But you see how he's trying to throw quote unquote white Hispanics, white mestizos under the bus. Those are his words, not mine. He just told you, he just said, I'm going to rewind it. He said white mestizos, but then he's going to try to shame them for identifying with what they are, which is Spanish. If they're white, they're mostly Spanish. It's crazy how the tricknology and language these people use, but they have an agenda. This is that East Coast shit, Afrocentric, pro-black. You have a lot of mulattoes out there just like that. From Cuba and Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, got a lot of mulattoes out there who I see them all over TikTok and Instagram, etc. They identify with Bantus, they're Afrocentric, and they play the same game. They want to shame the person they call white. They want to shame them for identifying as white. How the fuck does that work? They're mostly Spanish. Yeah, they're going to claim their Spanish heritage. He's calling them white mestizo, which is white mix, and he's going to shame them for identifying with Spain. Make it make sense, guys. Make it. But see, these are the type of people you got here. This is not a mulatto, but he's against the word mulatto. You fucked up, buddy. You fucked up, boy. You're not one of us. You shouldn't be talking about us. If he wants to do his whole mestizo and Latino thing, that's cool. I would not open my mouth. I don't care. But he fucked up royally, talking about mulattoes. You're not one of us, bro. We don't claim you over here. I don't claim your ass. Any mulatto who claims you, they're probably a fruitcake. They're LGBT. They're doing what they're doing somewhere else. Over here, I don't claim you, bro. Okay. He needs to basically hold counsel and hold rank with other Hispanics and Latinos and have that discussion. Go talk to the Bantus. Go talk to your Anglo paymasters. Go do that over there. But you fuck up when you bring up the mulattoes. We're not a part of your shit. We're not dealing with you. Yeah, we listen to your music, your tunes, and all that stuff. That's cool. And we're going to play some of your tunes because he has a lot of racist stuff to say about everybody. But he has an issue with the word mulatto. That's the one word he doesn't like because he's against you guys. He's against your identity. He's against your existence, you being a people, a community. He wants you to serve the Afrocentrics where he has a privileged position amongst them. He wants you to be a political tool for them. Yeah, you're right. I'm irritated. I'm irritated talking about this. Fuck these fools, these political opportunists. They're against the mulatto identity because they want to maintain their privileged position within the hierarchy. Yeah, I'm a little pissed off.
Called mestizo, right? And we have way too many white mestizos that
we have way too many white mestizos. Why is this dude fixing his lip talking about white mestizos? They're white they're mostly white. And you're not a part of them. You're a 25% African, according to your own words. You should keep your mouth shut and talk about the other quadroons. Why is this fucking fool? And see, that's the thing. Other mestizos have to check this fool and have to analyze that this guy is basically a servant of the Afrocentric, Jewish, Zionist controlled hip hop industry. He has to go. The other mestizos, they got to check this fool. I'm doing it because this fool opened his mouth about mulattoes. You're getting checked. You're not one of us. We don't claim you over here. Your ass is getting checked. Okay. And I'm seeing, I'm seeing this like he's talking about white mestizos. Like, bro, you just called them white, and then he's gonna turn around and shame them for identifying as white. Do you guys see the contradiction here? This is very despicable, but these people openly say this crap. This is a rapper and MC, he's an entertainer, with all his little Bantu buddies, getting paid. good Jewish money, to hate on everybody else, be a racist, right? Let's listen to this.
Identify more with Spain and Spaniardness than they ever do with the actual brown that makes them any part.
He said they're going to identify with more Spain. And, you just called them white mestizo, bro. Like, you guys, this is the hilarious part, the contract. You just called them white mestizo, but you're mad at them for identifying more with their white side. Well, they're mostly white. They're mostly Spanish. But this is one of yours. This ain't one of ours. This ain't a mulatto. This ain't, I don't claim this. Even he's a quadroon. He's a Hispanic. I don't know what the hell this guy is. He says he's Afro-Peruvian. His father's like a mulatto. He ain't one of us, bro. He's not. I don't claim this guy. I just told you. I used to listen to some of his tracks back in the day, right? 2000 and 7, 2008. I don't claim this fool, and I'm analyzing this rhetoric. And I don't see any Hispanics checking this fool. If you guys see it, send me the clip, share it with me. Let me know. I want to give them praise. This guy's talking crap about you, telling you you shouldn't identify with Spain and the Europeans. But he's calling you white. He just called you a white mestizo. We're like, what gives, bro? You call them white mestizos, but then you hate on them for identifying with what they are. Their European heritage. Like, this is a pro-black, liberal, leftist, Zionist psyop. Calling a spade a spade.
Mestizos that identify more with Spain and Spaniardness than they ever do with the actual brown that makes them any.
What is brown? What is brown? Brown is a color. It doesn't mean anything. Most of the Arab world is brown. They're not the same as you. They're not indigenous to the Americas. They're not Inca. He's Peruvian. That's Inca tribe. They're not Mayan, Aztec. They don't belong to the tribal groups of the Americas. When you talk about the Arabic, they're all brown. Like the East Indians, they're brown. Most Asians, if they're in China, they're in Mongolia, they're in Thailand, Vietnam. These are brown people. In the Philippines, the islands, the Samoa, most of the planet is brown. They're not pale skin Anglos. They're the minority. But most of the planet is brown. So when he talks about you don't identify with the brown, what the hell are you talking about? What group are you talking about? That's that people of color shit. That's that leftist academic language. You don't identify with your skin color. See, I'm a mulatto. I'm a mulatto man, European African. I identify with my heritage, the fusion of two. We're here. We're growing, baby. We're all over the planet. Right? And this is not a skin color movement. That's why the golden people failed. The golden people was all about their little skin color. They wanted to compete with the Bantus. They want to make it all about their skin color. Okay. So that's where he kind of fucked up. He's talking about you don't identify with your skin. That doesn't mean anything because most of the Arabs are brown. Most of the Asians around the planet, Thailand, Vietnam, Laos, Malaysia, they're all brown. So he's not making really a lot of sense with talking about identify with your brown skin. That doesn't mean anything.
Part of what they are. If you didn't have that in there, then you would look like the people from Spain who are blonde.
And what he's probably talking to a black on his little interview here. And that's why he's basically playing into their emotions because he knows they're color struck, dark skinned Bantus, because they're going to say, well, black comes in all shades. And no, black comes in limited shades of black or brown, a dark brown, unless they have albinism, which is like a mutation. They have albinism, then yeah, they can come out pale with no pigmentation. That's it. They got super pale, no pigmentation, or they got black and dark brown. You look at someone like a Tanashi or a Drake. I just played Pink Pantheress, mulatto lady. Nah, yeah, that's because they're half European. They're not the same as a dark skinned Bantu. So no, black comes in limited shades, black and dark brown, unless they have some type of mutation like albinism. Okay.
On blue eye walking around like that.
And don't talk about the Kosan people because they are a mix. They're not pure Bantu Africans. The Kosan people.
I think the recognition of this and the understanding that there is a path for so-called Latino people to whiteness that doesn't exist for black people, and I'll explain why.
Well, yeah, duh. That yeah, we get that. There's a path for whiteness for Latinos that don't exist for black people. Yeah, but see, why is he talking about this? Because I'm telling you, the agenda, he's politically motivated. He's Afrocentric, so he's caping for black people. And I publicly say this. Yeah, the Latinos, yeah, the Hispanics, they have a pathway to citizenship. That's what Joe Biden called it, right? Making the illegals legal, a pathway to citizenship, right? What they call assimilation. Yeah, they have that. They have to marry into the Anglo group. And I've said this publicly on this channel, even my social media on X. They basically have to change their name. They got to change their name. Little Francisco is going to change his name to Frank. He can marry an Anglo woman, they have kids, and they can mold into the white body politic. That's been granted to them for over 100 years, 200 years, since the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, which was the annexation of these former Mexican colonies. Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, California, Nevada, which were Mexican colonies, or part of Mexico, I should say. The Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, that's what granted them citizenship. They're like, okay, you can be a white and Anglo, you could be an American, but you have to practice Christianity, change your name, speak the English language, etc. They've been given that for, that kind of access to whiteness for over 200 years. That was signed, I don't know the exact dates, in the 1800s, kind of like around the Civil War era, 1860, etc., around that time, maybe a little earlier, 1830s. Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo. Look it up. That is basically, that's been the modus operandi position with the Hispanics forever. I mean, that's been for the past 200 years, 2 centuries. Like, that's been the position for them. They're allowed to be white, but they have to assimilate into the body politic of the Anglo ethnic state, ethno state. So I don't know. This guy's acting like something's new here. Like, oh, they get to be white that the blacks don't have. Well, no shit. The blacks got to basically, they got to fuse in and have mulattoes and quadroons who could be accepted into the group. And that's kind of how it's worked out with a lot of other groups. So Creole communities, mulatto communities, these mulattoes who fuse in with the white body politic, that's been the thing.
Why? Because if you open the casta system, if a mestizo marries then a white person, they create what they call a castizo.
A castizo. And someone, I think it wasn't Chief Inspector, it was another cat. He basically said it was Jessica Alba, who was a big star in the early 90s, or late in 2000s. You guys all know Jessica Alba, probably one of the prettiest ladies in Hollywood. She falls in line with that castizo, right? And she looks very much Hispanic. Her name clearly gives it away, Jessica Alba. But I believe someone was referencing one of my like subscriber supporters was telling me she's basically falls in line with that castiza.
A castizo then marries a white person, and there's less than 1/16 of indigenous blood. That person.
The background music they got for this video clip is like the sad kind of violin piano playing. Like, it's, oh my god, it's so heart-wrenching. Like, what he's talking about is so real. Like, this is Latin American history. This is just Western Hemisphere history. This is nothing new. I don't know. They try to act like it's a big win or like a big, the music in the background is crazy. They're sensationalizing this conversation when this should already be known. I mean, they might not teach you this in elementary school, middle school, high school, but this is like very common knowledge what this guy's saying. It's nothing special.
Person is considered white by law in the 16, 1700s, and 1800s.
In the 16, 17, and 1800s. So he's taking you back 300 years ago. Remember, he's one of these hip hop guys who kind of boasts his ego up. Like, he's going to teach you a history lesson. He's going to give you some game, right? This is how it was in the 1600s. Nigga, we're in 2025. We're in the not like us era where the dark skinned Bantu is telling the mulatto man Drake that he's not like them because he's got a white mom in Canada. Nigga, we're in that era now. You're all exposed. We see the apparatus, the Afrocentrics, they're Hispanic puppets, they're Zionist paymasters serving the Anglos. We see all of you people, and we have a voice. You're getting checked. Checkmate. We already see it for what it is.
in Latin
Say
America.
that one more time.
I'm telling you,
No,
if a
break that one down one
castizo
time.
marries a white person or married a white person, and now I'm gonna get the fools that say, "Oh, this is ancient history." Well,
I'm gonna get the fools that say this is ancient history. Yeah, nigga, you're a fool. This is ancient history. Because I just told you, we see it for what it is. You want to weaponize the one drop rule to maneuver mulattoes to be your subordinate for your Afrocentric agenda. Because your audience base, your fan base are Afrocentrics in New York, the East Coast dudes. I'm a West Coast dude who listen to your music, who support your message. And you have all these Afro Latinos and like all these, what they call them, New Yorkers, right? You got Dominicans who identify with blacks and Bantus and these Puerto Ricans. Please, I want you people to start to tag me, to come into my shit. I know you guys are on the sidelines. You don't tag me and not, you just watch. That's perfectly fine. You're black identified. You're one of these Afro Latinos. Please, I want you to tag me. You're going to give me a very good boost. I'm going to bump my numbers up big time off of you. Okay, you're against the word mulatto and you're Hispanic or you're Latino, whatever, but you identify with the Bantu and you want to weaponize and use that Bantu against mulattoes. Please, please try me. I'm waiting for you because I see dudes like this. I don't see you checking him. He needs to keep his mouth shut about the word mulatto. He's not one of us. We don't claim him. It's not his business. If he wants to suck off blacks, that's his business. He can do that in peace over there in Harlem. He needs to keep the mulattoes out of his mouth.
it's not because in Latin America, Barack Obama and someone of that color is not considered black. You can ask my Dominican friends. They'll say, oh no, he's trigueño. Oh, he's un indio oscuro. Right, because you want to be anything but the lowest thing on the casta system.
You want to be anything but the lowest on the casta system. That's everywhere around the planet. That's even in Africa. That's even black people in Africa who want to be anything other than the lowest caste system. That's human nature. That's the Anglos. That's the Europeans. They want to be anything and they don't want to be the bottom class. The whole point of humanity, of human existence, is to elevate your position, to get into a higher realm, a higher level. That's in the whole Asian world. They don't want to stay at the bottom. But you people, you leftists in this kind of New York liberal empire, you want to stay at the bottom and you want to glamorize it and you want to trick the rest of the world to think it's glamorous to be a sucker, a slave, a peasant, a proud victim at the bottom. You want to trick the rest of us as if it's honorable to be a proud victim at the bottom. This is the shit they push. And that's that whole black and brown coalition, people of color. They want to convince the rest of the world it's acceptable to be, oh, you want to upgrade yourself. Yeah, that's human nature. Black people want to be better in other parts in the black world in Africa. They want to elevate their class status, even when they marry other black people, a part of a higher tribal level. Asian people do that within their society. Anglos, as I said, in Europe, they want to do that as well. Like the lady, the I don't know her name in England. I'm speaking above myself, but whatever, like the royal family, not Meghan Markle, the other Kate, whatever her name is. She came from a peasant class and she met that royal guy and she married into that class to elevate her level. That's been the true throughout history for every group of people. They want to marry up. I can say that with my family. We've all married up in my family. That's just part of human nature. But this fool is trying to tell you that's a bad thing. Oh, you want to identify with something different and upgrade your class. You don't want to be at the bottom. That's that American pro victim because they flex that pro victim shit in that hip hop pro whack circle. This guy's part of the Afrocentric network where he fucked up. If he would have kept it with the Hispanic shit, I don't care. Would never commented on it. He fucked up because he's opening his mouth about mulattoes. We're not a part of your group, bro. Like you're getting into our business. You're getting into some other territory over here. We're just going to make content off of you. Like I said, I used to listen to your shit 20 years ago, bro, when I was in high school. I don't know what you're doing now. I don't know if you're still sucking off Bantus, you're getting paid off by whites. I don't know what you're doing. But it's a kind of typical reoccurring thing with you types, you entertainment types. You're funded by the same paymasters. You're trying to neutralize mulattoes. They see Drake on the rise. They're trying to bury that dude, but they can't. They can't. The mulatto is on the rise.
Which is an Indian or a black person. And the reality is that keeping those two individuals fighting each other is the only way that Europeans gain supremacy in the New World. Without that, they wouldn't have it.
The only way the Europeans can gain supremacy in the New World. Right. He's talking about people who are mostly European as well, I might add. Talking about gaining, supremacy, basically existing. That's funny. Yeah. I'm going to drop the link if you guys want to join in this discussion. So, yeah, we're going to get into it because I saw that clip. Someone shared it a minute ago. I was like, you got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. They're still trying this. And that's an outgroup male. He's not a part of our circles. He's not one of us. But he has a lot to say about the word mulatto. He doesn't like the word mulatto. Yeah, nah, it's not going to work out for us. So I just realized something. I think I'm kind of jumping ahead of myself here because I did want to play the clip of Immortal Technique, your boy, using all this racist language in all of his music, his quote unquote art. He doesn't like the word mulatto for this supposed historical connotation of the word. He has a political agenda. Remember, he's Afrocentric. Okay, he serves Bantus, Afrocentric, but he's against the word mulatto. And we're looking at but this guy, all of his songs, he says nigga, just like Fat Joe and the rest of them, right? Takashi Snitch 9, even though he checked that Bantu. Charlemagne the Fraud, who's like, why do you say nigga? He's like, who's gonna check me? Let me just see if I can find that clip too before I get back to this Immortal Technique guy. Wasn't it Takashi Snitch 9? I think it was him. And then yeah, he told this guy basically he told him, I think it was DC, shout out to DC, man, the mulattoes over here, man, they hold it down. I have so much love for you guys. I think it was DC who shared this with me because this cat has got some motherfucking balls, man. This Charlemagne the Fraud guy. And he's talking to this rainbow-haired Hispanic Takashi Snitch 9. And he's got a t-shirt on with human race with his hood on, typical Bantu hip hop persona, right? He's not a rapper, he's just reports on the rappers. And he interviewed this guy, he's telling him about the N-word, and this guy's just checked his Bantu, telling him who's gonna check. Just like the white man, Joe Biden checked his Bantu. That's why this guy has no credibility. He's like a pro Kendrick, he's a Kendrick meat writer, talking shit on Drake. And this Charlemagne publicly said he never roots for light-skinned guys. That's why I get a kick when I see these light-skinned guys who are so offended by what I'm saying. You sound anti-black or something like that. And I'm like, bro, you got guys like you never call out Charlemagne, do you, boy? This guy literally publicly said he never stands up for light-skinned men. But the light-skinned women, oh, he's cool with them. He has no problems. Very typical. So I get a kick out of it when some of you punks want to talk some shit about me, but I don't see you making videos checking Charlemagne. This dude publicly said he never roots for light-skinned guys. Isn't that some racist, colorist shit? Who else? See, the biracial men got to give you boys some courage. I'm going to say that. Yeah, it's us. It's the biracial men who have made everybody proud to claim this mulatto shit. None of you people were claiming any of this mulatto stuff before me because you had people like, Immortal Technique telling you it's a bad word and all these other fools in the media telling you it's a bad word. Don't say mulatto. Yeah, all these media personalities told you it's a bad word. They're all these liberal trained. It's all these liberal fuckers. They don't like the word mulatto. But since I came around, all of a sudden, all you liberals, you're okay with the word now. Interesting how that is, right? Now you're all calling yourselves mulatto now because now you know what time it is. You need more voices. in media. That's what it is. And they're trying to silence us, of course, especially with me. They're trying to smear me, slander my name, the fake pro whack, Fruit Loops and pro black female crowd. They're trying to silence us. They don't want us to have a voice. Listen to Charlemagne get punked by this Hispanic, telling them who's going to check him. They're not going to do a damn thing. They're not going to check Hispanics. They've already opened up the floodgates. They got Fat Joe, South Park Mexican, Immortal Technique. All these Hispanics are saying nigga. But see, they're cool with that. See, but then when they see Drake, the mulatto man, I don't want to see you say nigga no more. He's saying nigga in every song, and I want him to. Because you Bantus have no influence or control. You don't make the rules over here.
People, and I don't have a problem with it, but people seem to have a problem with you saying nigga. Because they say a Mexican should not be using the word
Bro,
nigga.
who gonna stop me? Who? Like, I can see those comments all the time.
You see that with his glasses? Like, bro, who's going to stop me? This Bantu ain't going to do shit. He's telling them, well, people have a problem with you saying it. He's like, well, who's going to stop him? No, you're not going to do a damn thing. You're going to shut the fuck up and listen. And he knows his place. Yeah, because he wants access to the females, right? He wants to go to Dominican Republic. He wants to go to Colombia. He wants to go to these Hispanic nations and mess around with the women. He wants open access, right? He knows his place. Yeah, so he'll get punked and cuckolded just so we can get access to these other women, right?
Who?
But the reason
why can I say it? Like, I can say it. Like, who gonna stop me?
But you made a distinction when you said...
He just told him, look at him in the eye, who's gonna stop me? Nah, not this fucking buster. This punk ain't gonna stop. He ain't gonna do a damn thing. Sitting in there with his hood on and shit, like the whole the whole fit is hilarious. Like this fool ain't gonna stop nothing. He ain't gonna bust a grape. He's gonna do what he's told by his paymasters.
Two African Americans shooting at each other. So to me, you just using the word as a slang word.
No, look, because I can't say two niggas. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, it just makes it look like I'm talking that only black people shoot at each other. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm just saying, hypothetically, if two African American minorities were shooting at each other, would it make the news? No, because it happens all the time. But if Tekashi 69 get caught pissing in the street, it's headlines. Tekashi 69 has no respect for the community and try to show his wee-wee to the world. Like, you know what I'm saying?
But I'm just saying, the distinction. So when you say niggas, what does that mean?
Remember, he's a fruitcake, man. He's got like the rainbow flag in the background. He's got all these liberals and all these liberal politicians on his platform. He's paid off. But they're funded by people. They're funded and they're anti-mulatto. They're anti-biracial man. This is what you guys got to start to connect the dots. Like they're funded by big money to talk this shit. Why is it that this Bantu sympathizer can boldly say he never roots for light-skinned men, but he's cool with all light-skinned women? Oh, that's very typical. That's Umar, Tariq, and the rest of the pro-wax, right? So why he's so bold in saying that? But I don't see none of the light-skinned men checking this fool. I mean, he's got his sidekick, that punk DJ Envy, who's a buster, enabler, who sits there and no big deal. Yeah, because he's already got his chick, and I think he's cheated on her. I think they've had some affairs. That's what their personal shit. He's got a pretty wife, and that's cool. DJ Envy. He's got money and status. That's cool. He's on the radio. But so he's cool with that. He's cool, like, with all the light skin jokes and shit, because he already got his. He got his partner and shit. So he's like, for the rest of us, we're sitting there like, what the fuck? You're gonna let this fool, this punk, try to like smear us and shit out here, talking to all these rappers. This Hispanic dude punks him in his face. He's gonna sit out here and act all tough and shit. Remember, he was giggling, laughing, and smiling with that, what's that dude's name? The dead guy, the rapper, the bald cat. What was his name? DMX, Dark Man Unknown. Remember that cat? Remember this dude was all giggling and smiling because DMX doesn't like Drake, and then Charlemagne the Fraud was all laughing like, yes, I don't like him. See, these motherfuckers jump on camera publicly celebrating hate against mulatto men, and they're getting funded. They're getting funded by it. They're getting paid big money to hate on you, but when you say something against them, they all of a sudden they want to like silence you and censor you and shit like that. It's crazy, man. I want to see more of you light skinned dudes check this fool. Because I see a lot of light skinned punks and bitches and pussies who want to cry anti-blackness and shit. But you got this motherfucker right here who straight out publicly said he never roots for light skinned men. Ain't that a bitch? I haven't seen one video from any of you motherfuckers checking this fool. But I got a lot of content, homie. You click on my channel, I got a lot of content, got a lot of videos talking about this Mark, his punk, charlatan the fraud. Where y'all at? Where y'all light skins at? Y'all light skins, where y'all at? Checking this motherfucker. I don't see none of you people. That's why to me, I'm mulatto, bro. I'm not doing the light skin shit. I don't identify with you Bantus. We're not the same. We're not the same because you always sympathize and side with the Bantu who hates you and smears your name. We're not the same, bro. We're not the same. I see this guy out here, Charlemagne, talking about he never, roots for the light skinned man, but he's cool with the light skinned woman. I'm like, how is that socially acceptable? Why is it that the men find this socially acceptable and don't challenge this fool? That's what gets me. It's the fact that the men sit on the sidelines like fucking punks and bitches because they still want to maintain their status amongst the dark skinned Bantu. I just don't get it. And they're not getting no money out of it either. See, a guy like Immortal Technique, I just shared with you guys, this like little Hispanic guy, because he has a privileged status amongst the dark skinned Bantus. He's a little rapper. So he can play a show and the Bantu's going to pay $5 or $10 to watch him rap. So he can get money off of them. So for him, it's advantageous. It makes sense where he capes for them because they're going to pay and support him. But a lot of you light skinned cats, you're not getting a fucking nickel from them. But you're very silent. You're very quiet with your little 40K a year job. And you allow them to jump on social media and smear your name. We're not the same. A mulatto man is not the same as a light-skinned black person. Period. I will challenge every one of you as long as my ass is up here. We're not the same. I've been the first original and only man up here to say this. You had Caesar Cannon, the rest of these golden people. They try to say, we're all the same. We're all our skin color. No, it's not our skin color, homie. It's not even just the phenotype. No, it's our culture. It's our identity. It's our heritage. A mulatto man is not the same as a light-skinned African American. I don't suck off and serve and allow these Bantus to slide when they hate on me. That's the difference between me and you. You need to get your weight up. Go put some content out here. Go check these fools. Let these fools know what's up. When they're challenging you, they're telling you you ain't shit. They're cool with the light-skinned females. No problems with them. But oh, the light-skinned man, they never root for you. And you don't check this savage? You don't check this fool? Okay, yeah, that's on you. We're not the same, bro. We're not the same. I'm going to let you know that every day I'm up here. We're not the same.
It's the way I grew up. My culture is I grew up in Bushwick, Brooklyn. It's not like I'm saying that's a dirty nigga over there. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's my part. It's my vocabulary. It's the way I talk.
It's the way he talks, his vocabulary, because he was raised in the hood. He's got tattoos, 6'9", 6'9". Yeah, so he checked this fool. This Hispanic checked this fool and told him, who's going to punk me? Who's going to tell me that I can't say it? No, they're not going to tell you shit. They're going to allow you to do whatever you want because they want access to your women. Because they hate themselves. They want to bastardize. Look at this little rainbow flag in the corner. You guys see that? You guys see that? You guys see that little rainbow flag in the corner? There you go. Yeah. Hiding back there. Pro whack. You got some like little figurine statue here. Black individual. You got the little rainbow flag. There you go. There you go. And you got the little rainbow Hispanic guy here. Checking the Bantu, letting them know he could say what he wants. There you go. But they got a big issue. When it comes to the mulattoes, they want to police your speech. And they hire and bring on these Hispanics to tell you can't say the word mulatto, like Immortal Technique. They're going to hire and bring them on and tell you there's a caste system. You can't say mulatto. That's a bad word. You just want to be white. You want to be something else that you're not. And, you got to identify with us and, Cape Fret. These guys all see this. You guys are making a connection.
Look, like, you know what I'm saying? It's not like, oh shit, I'm not African American. Like, I'm not dark skin. I cannot say this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just vocabulary. You're from New York. You're from New York. You're from New
He
York.
from
I'm
South
from
Carolina.
South
From New
Carolina,
York.
but
Oh,
I
you're
know
from
what you
South
mean.
Carolina?
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Where's that at?
Come on.
Well, listen to
I'm
me.
gonna book you for a show there. That's where it's at.
But you know what it is? Y'all all from New York. You live right by me.
Yep.
Yeah, the Blasian lives by the Hispanic. Yeah. Yeah, Charlemagne got punked because he's a bitch. We already know that. But he's so cocky talking shit about not only the biracial men like Drake, but also light-skinned men. My whole thing is, why aren't the light-skinned men checking this fool? Putting videos out here tagging him. Why do you identify with people who are against you? Because a Hispanic man can just jump up in there. Tekashi 6ix9ine, he's a snitch. Snitching to the feds, he's a rat. He can jump up in there and check this fucking Bantu, this Mark, and he's not going to do a fucking thing about it. Fat Joe or Big Pun, RIP to Big Pun, Immortal Technique, all these Hispanics can jump up in here, and these Bantus aren't going to do a fucking thing about it because they want access to the females. They want to bastardize them and claim them. Well, you got some African in you. You mix and you Afro-Latino, you a part of us. You a part of the same people. It's that Anglo, it's that white man who they all work for and serve at the end of the day. So my whole thing is with the mulattoes. Do you not see the game that they're playing?
You go to school. You probably went to school around. How many Spanish kids walk around like, yeah, my nigga's popping? Like,
No, everybody
That's
does.
why I didn't have a
Everybody
problem.
does,
I'm
so
like
don't
fat.
Okay, yeah. So he got punked by the Hispanic dude. I think it was DC who pointed it out to me. Shout out to her. But yeah, let's go back to Immortal Technique because he doesn't like the word mulatto. Remember, he started out by saying nobody should use that word. That's a racist word. Remember that? Remember he said that? But check this out. Immortal Technique had a freestyle rap. He had a freestyle rap battle against some other rapper, a white rapper. This is a while ago too, like I said, like 20 years ago. And he was using crazy racial slurs. I want you guys to listen to this shit. Let me pull it up here right now. Cool. But it's okay because he's Hispanic and he's a victim and he's, Afrocentric. So he can use racial slurs against white people. Just don't use the word mulatto. That's a bad word because they want to neutralize you and control you. Mulatto should be fucking pissed off, but I mean, I am. That's why you hear my tone. I'm like, this is despicable. I am so against this, man. And I mean, anybody who's against us and our use and our freedom of speech, like you're just an enemy of the mulattoes. And it's only these LGBT liberal mulattoes who are going to play around with you. I won't play around with you. Let you know straight up right now. I'm not playing around with any of you people. You're against our autonomy. You're against us. Okay. You want to dance around with the mulattoes who are LGBT, liberal, and they're not doing shit. So, and some people will say, Mulatto Vanguard, you're not doing anything. Okay, well, I'm doing more than you, ho. You're sitting back listening to me. I'm doing way more than you. You're my fan. You're my audience member. You're listening to me. You know your place. All right. So check this out. Listen to this. This is some battle rap. He was battle rapping this white dude, white MC idea. And Immortal Technique's going to use some racial slurs against this cat. You can't make this up. He's against the word mulatto, but he's perfectly fine using racial slurs to white people. And you got dumbass whites who support him, which is typical. I mean, they're serving Zionists right now, voting for the what they call that, the big beautiful bill. A lot of them are fucking idiots here. They voted for a fucking dictator because they wanted cheaper egg prices instead of basically buying a chicken and growing their own chicken and getting their own eggs. They wanted to vote for a fucking dictator for cheaper eggs. You got a lot of dumb, stupid fuckers, and that's why they're getting conquered. They're getting conquered out here. It's very pathetic, but they need to find some scapegoat for their miserable position. And, conveniently they're blaming, they've always, 400 years, they blame blacks, but now they're conveniently blaming a lot of the Hispanics and stuff. Yeah, let's get into this. Check this out. So the audio is not the best, I will admit. I remember hearing this clip way back, bro, like 20 years ago. I think I saw they deleted a lot of the videos up here. They had a clear, more precise clip of this Immortal Technique raps. but I think he's trying to clean up his image. So they basically scraped the web of whatever kind of material out here. This is a battle rap someone recorded, uploaded. It says rare recording. Nah, bro. The title of the video says rare recording. Bro, I remember 20 years ago, if it was YouTube or LimeWire, whatever software I was using or website where you could listen to music, you download music. We've been downloading music for years, right? Since the internet. And I remember this Immortal Technique. He was kind of a big deal. It's funny how they called him underground, but he was so popular. Everybody knew who he was, Immortal Technique. They had these rap battle videos out here 20 years ago when I was still in high school. And I remember hearing this clip of this guy calling this white boy a cracker in some rap battle somewhere in like New York. You're gonna listen to the clip. It's not the best audio because they scraped out all the clear audio and they got this like, kind of staticky audio they got now. They call it rare recording. Man, I remember hearing this 20 years ago. It's not rare. They're just trying to scrape it to clean that fucking liberal subjects, communist, pro-communist, Immortal Technique. So a little image out here. And they don't have the closed captions. I tried to put, here we go, closed captions. Let's listen to this. Watch and listen. So that was a white guy who did his little verse. Now Immortal Technique's gonna go in dissing the white guy. Never said nothing racial. He never talked about him being Latino, being Hispanic. This is 20 years ago, guys. But listen to how this Latino Hispanic with this little 25% African trying to kiss off and suck off Bantus against mulattoes. Listen to how he attacks this white guy. He's going to use some slurs. He's against the word mulatto, but listen to the slurs he's going to use against this white guy. Listen, tune in. We got to check these people. They run their mouth about mulattoes. We got receipts on you. Your fucking ass is getting checked. Listen to this. You guys hear that right there? It says, don't, if you be a toy, you look like a 40-year-old effing Backstreet Boy. And like I said, the audio's not the best, man, because they scraped all this stuff off the web. I remember 20 years ago, it was I'm going to repeat myself. It was LimeWire or something, whatever software there was out there, website. I can't even remember, bro. It was 20 years ago. I remember listening to this shit. It was very crystal clear what this guy was saying. I can't recite the lyrics at them right now. It's been a while. But yeah, this dude was like trying to go in. He's going to make a racial slur towards this white guy. They're battle rapping, right? But the thing is, like, the white guy never mentioned this guy being Mexican or Hispanic. But it's this Hispanic guy is the first guy to mention the white guy's race. We're like, what the hell? So that's okay to use a racial slur against a white guy. But when it comes to the word mulatto, your bitch ass, you're not mulatto, has something to say. I see a lot of you types out there in New York in academia working with these Bantus. You guys got large platforms. You got large social media platforms, thousands of followers on Instagram and all the blogosphere, all the social media. You got a lot to say with your Bantu following against the mulatto people. Very interesting. I can't wait for these mulattoes to get some balls and start challenging you people. The networks start to grow, the pages start to grow. I'm superfluous. I'm nothing. I tell people I'm not special. I'm just a dude with some balls and a voice out here. I'm not special. I just cannot wait for these people to jump up here. Their articulation is going to be on point, and they're going to grow so fast. And it's going to happen. It's inevitable. He said, I don't give a F about the cheddar. I don't care about the money. He's saying he's doing this for the respect and the mic check. And of course, he's shaking hands with a Bantu, typical, right? Hispanic puppet serving Bantus against mulattoes. That's right there. I remember hearing this even 20 years ago, guys. I was a young adult, barely turned 18, if that. And I heard him talk to this rap battle, talking to this white guy, and he threw out a racial slur, said, and while you're at it, take your cracker ass back to the methadone clinic. I was like, damn, you went racial there, didn't you, boy? To this white guy. People be like, oh, that's a rap battle. That's a rap battle. But why is this bitch sitting up here with Bantus against the word mulatto? Because of the quote unquote caste system and colonialism. But he's in a battle. He's in a war of words and hip hop, and he'll slur a white guy. And of course, white guys aren't going to say shit because they're fucking cucked by Bantus. Their countries, their nations are being, completely, all these immigrants are coming to their nations and they're sucking off Bantus and they're against the mulatto. So they fucked up big time. I see them over on X talking about mixed kids are so ugly. They're trying to shame white women. It's like, you're not going to stop the rise of the mulattoes. We're watching all of you. We're analyzing all of you. We're collecting receipts. You're not stopping us. And we're seeing you like, yeah, you get cucked by the Bantu. So they're not going to say nothing. They're going to let this Hispanic slide and he's going to talk crap about them. And, of course. But when it's the mulatto, man, like they had that dude, what was the cat's name? What's that dude's name? Bob Villain. Remember they had some shit to say about him. I shared my last live stream. Bob Villain. Some idiot on a Twitter post tried to say he's anti-white. He's anti-white because he's challenging the status quo, expressing his grievances. A mulatto man. They will find any excuse to throw the mulatto man under the bus because it's about power. They know we will not acquiesce to them. This is what it is.
Country back. Shut the fuck up. I heard you want your country back. You can't have that. I heard you want your country back. Shut the fuck up. I heard you want your country back. Oh shit, me too. You stole it right out of my hands and put the rug right under my feet. I'm Nat Turner meets Nat King Cole, a well-dressed brother with a revolution in my soul. We the people in the street, got the gammons on retreat and their blood boils over when we speak, so let it be heard. We ain't wasting a scrap when we eat, and when we come for it, then we coming to keep. I heard you want your country back. Ha! Shut the fuck up. I heard you want your country back. You can't have that. I heard you want your country back. Shut the fuck up! I heard you want your country back! Well shit, me too! I heard you want your country back. Shut the fuck up. I heard you want your country back. You can't have that. The only place I know, stolen right under my nose by ignorant scum, trying to lay claim to a land that ain't theirs anyway. Wait, what did you say? I heard you want your country back. Shut the fuck up! I heard you want your country back. You can't have that. I heard you want your country back. Shut the fuck up! I heard you want your country back. Well shit, me too! I heard you want your country back. I heard you want your country back. Shut the fuck up! I heard you want your country back. I heard you want your country back. You can't have that. I heard you want your country back. I heard you want your country back. Shut the fuck up! I heard you want your country back. But you cannot have that.
So you notice that they have a lot to say about the mulatto man. You notice that. A lot of the Anglos serving the Zionists, they got a lot to say when the mulatto man challenges them and expresses his grievances with the established order. But when this fucking Hispanic jumps up here and talks shit, during a rap battle to the white boy, they're mighty quiet, aren't they? They're mighty quiet, just like with the Bantu. They're mighty quiet with their pawns and pets. But with the mulatto man, oh, they're going to let you know they don't like you. They're going to use their Zionist paymasters to censor you and silence you. Very interesting, isn't that? Why aren't you mulatto men speaking up about that? Too scared? Too pussy? Too scared? Yeah. So I got to be the bad guy up here. I'm honored. Saying he looks like a 40-year-old Backstreet Boy. Oh, very clever. He doesn't give a F about the cheddar. He's doing it for the respect and the mic check. Shaking hands with the Bantu. Yeah, good little East Coast Hispanic. Shaking hands with the Bantu, but is against the mulatto identity. Yeah, you're on notice. We're watching you. All over TikTok, all over the blogosphere, siding with the Bantu against the mulatto man. And we already know with these Chicanos out there in the West Coast who are sucking off Kendrick Lamar and shit, talking shit about Drake. We already know you're just mad because we get your women. That's just on the motherfucking block. We get most of the chicks I banged have all been Chicano, Mexicana. You're just jealous because we get the chicks are open access. They like us. They prefer us. And that's what you're mad about. That's why you're mad about the mulatto man. Because you know we got access to the chicks. Yeah, so they're hating on Drake and they're gonna side with this little Bantu Kendrick Lamar. Yeah, that we already know what's up. Those of us who are on the West Coast in Los Angeles, we already know the deal. I play that again. He said, "Take your cracker ass back to the methadone clinic." So he's perfectly okay with using racial slurs against whites. Are the white boys going to check him? Of course not. They're serving their Zionist master, and they're scared of the mulatto man getting cucked by blacks, crying about the invasion of Hispanics, but they give the Hispanics the slide. Of course, because I told you, the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, they allow them to assimilate. They want the males to stay in place and work, build their infrastructure, but they want access to the women to bastardize them, to create more quote unquote whites. Yeah, they're white, but they're not pure blooded Anglo-Saxon, but that's never been the case. They don't give a damn about this pure blood or Anglo-Saxon, this whole heritage. That's all a facade for the Anglo. It's about hegemony and power. And that's why they've cut the deal with the devil, literally, working with Zionists against everybody. That's literally what it is. You see this Build Back Better and Donald Trump and all that. Yeah, he lets Bibi Netanyahu do whatever the hell he wants, you know, complete genocidal maniacs out here. I hate to laugh. I mean, I'm laughing because of how atrocious it is. But yeah, it's a pretty bad scenario we see. But I'm saying is they give this guy a slide. They don't say nothing about him. Of course not. This is their buddy. He's shaking hands with the Bantu. You see Justin Bieber, Justin Timberlake, Taylor Swift, all the fucking Anglos hugging up on the Bantu, shaking hands with the Bantu. But they got a lot to say about the mulatto. When the mulatto is on the rise, they have a lot to say. I'm one dude with the microphone out here. A lot of you guys are going to wake up and smell the coffee. You're going to start to check and challenge people. Once I just shut this shit off and just go on a beach somewhere and just log off, and you don't hear from me or hear any material, yeah, you guys are going to eventually pop up. It's going to be your turn. I mean, it already is your turn. I'm trying to promote you guys, but there's too many cowards in the midst. You're too comfortable serving Bantus, serving Anglos who are getting cucked by Bantus, letting the Hispanics, slide and get a pass while they're trying to shake hands and be cool with Bantus who are against you. And you just sit there like, nothing's happening, no problem. Mulatto Vanguard, you're too extreme. You're calling a spade a spade. You're speaking too much truth. You're too extreme. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay, I just wanted to play that because it's like this dude is on record calling white people crackers, using racial slurs against whites. Are the white boys checking him? Of course not. Of course not. They're crying about blacks and shit every damn day. Of course, they're doing what they always do, whine and cry because their own women are openly committing mutiny against them, creating more mulattoes. The mulatto class is rising. They know the mulatto males were not going to be subjects to Anglos. And they know that's the Bantu's job. That's not our job. That's why they're upset with us. They can stay upset. They can stay upset. I see you motherfuckers every day in the fucking gym, every day out here in where I'm at. And we're not fucking blacks. Okay. The mulatto men are not blacks, and we're gonna let your fucking ass know that. Okay. And so let me play this clip here. This is another Immortal Technique clip. It's one from one of his songs he has here. And yeah, so check out this. Like I said, there's another racial slur he's using, which is okay because he's allowed to. He's Hispanic. He's allowed to use racial slurs against blacks, calling nigga every song. He says nigga, 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 and he could say he does rap diss. He can say cracker. It's okay. It's perfectly okay. But he publicly jumps up on that interview and says, "Don't use the word mulatto." And mulattoes got to check these fools. I'm one dude. Like I say, that's why this is the mulatto vanguard. This is the authority on mulatto affairs. Everybody else is too pussy to have these conversations. I'm sorry if you don't like it. Tough, then do something about it. Jump your ass up here and challenge these people who are against you. They want to tone police you, police your speech, and you say nothing about it. And I get a kick out of people who want to like challenge my tone or delivery, but like you're not doing shit. Like you're sitting on the sidelines and you want to make a couple coins, and that's cool. Like I want to support you and shit too, but you better shut your fucking mouth. Don't challenge me and question what I'm saying if you don't have the balls, or if you're female, you don't have the will, or to even question these people who are publicly against you, using your own autonomy, using your own language that suits you. Like you like the word mulatto. I like the word mulatto too. That's who we are. That's our identity. But you have people out here who are against it. Like, yeah, I'm going to challenge them. And if you're not with me challenging them, that's cool. Just stay quiet. Okay, just stay over there, stay quiet. Don't challenge me trying to go to war and challenge these other people, because they're getting too bold and cocky out here, telling us we shouldn't say the word mulatto, but they're calling people crackers and using the N-word in every damn song, nigga this, nigga that. We're like, well, see, it's insane, the reality we live in, where they want to have power over you. But we need more mulattoes to challenge them for that power. That's the thing. So this is a song, Immortal Technique. It's called Dominant Species. This song. I'm not going to play the whole song, but check out this song.
I'm explicit like videotapes of conjugal visits. Some niggas are too stupid to understand it like astrophysics.
Now, I can't put the closed captions, the text here, on this particular video clip on YouTube, whatever, won't let me. You just heard him say, some niggas are too stupid to understand it like astrophysics. This is the Hispanic guy, just like Tekashi. Check that Bantu. All their music, they're going to say nigga this, nigga, 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 nigga. That's okay. Where they draw the line is that word mulatto. That should tell you something. That's where they draw the line. Don't say mulatto. That's racist. That's a caste system. I can say nigga because it's a culture. It's a people. See? The Bantu working with the Latino and Hispanic against the mulatto. They're serving the Anglos and Zionists. See, and you mulattoes, yeah.
I'm explicit like videotapes of conjugal visits. Some niggas are too stupid to understand it like astrophysics.
So, and that's all of his music. Every song he has, he says nigga. That's why I was funny. I was like, he doesn't like the word mulatto. But every song he has, he uses the word nigga. And then in the rap battle I just played for you guys, he's calling the white boy, literally calling him a cracker. He's saying, take your cracker ass back to the methadone clinic. I'm like, that's super racist, isn't it? The white guy, RIP to him, I believe he passed away. His name was Idea, is his rap name. He was an underground kind of rap battle MC. I guess I don't know where he's from, but I heard that people were put R.I.P. in some of the videos. So I guess he passed away. Rest in peace to him. But I remember playing that whole clip. That dude never said anything racist to Immortal Technique. He never slurred him for being Hispanic. But the Hispanic guy, see, that's that brown privilege where they team up with the Bantu and want to harass. And you know, but the Anglos, they did it to themselves. They sided with the Zionists. They sided with the Bantu against the mulatto, and they're dealing with it. And they also subjugated their own females, their own ladies, their own women who are openly committing mutiny, and they're creating mulattoes. And like when the sons, if they have a mulatto son and they're raised up, they're not going to be subjugated to the fucking Anglo. And my goal is I'm sharing this information. You see what they're doing with Drake. You better not serve the fucking Bantu. You see what they're doing with Drake. You think, oh, the whites are racist. Like, yeah, like the J. Cole type of guy or Colin Kaepernick, whatever. You name your pick. This mulatto guy. You know, and they'll say, oh, the whites are racist and blah, blah. Okay, that's cool. But look what the Bantu, look what they're doing with Drake. Look what they're doing with Drake. He's helped out all of these people. He's helped out LeBron James. And now the dark-skinned Bantu's trying to be like, well, Drake has a tattoo of LeBron James. I mean, he showed this guy the utmost respect. I would never get a male tattooed on me. That's just me personally. But Drake got a tattoo of LeBron James. Look how that dark-skinned Bantu did him. Throwing him under the bus for some little punk-ass Kendrick Lamar. That is sad. That is an L for Drake. But that is, he can recover from it. Of course he can. He's that talented. But that it's a lesson to these mulattoes out here. That's the macrocosm level. You can tattoo these fucking dark-skinned Bantus on your arm. It doesn't matter how much you cape for them. They will always sell you out for their Anglo paymasters. They will always, and a lot of these mulattoes, look, you don't like my delivery, that's fine, that's cool. But once you get your wake-up call, ho, you're gonna come. I seen there's a mulatto. Man, I've been doing this for 3 years now. There's mulattoes that I ran into like 2 years ago. They don't like my delivery. They don't like how I'm saying stuff, and they unsubscribe like a fucking hoe. I don't give a shit. I got 3K subscribers. You bitches leave and you come back. I don't care. There's new people who find there's a 6 billion, whatever billion people on the planet. Your bitch ass leaves. Someone else will come over here. That's good. And the thing is, some of these people, yeah, they leave, whatever, they go, but then they come back. I see some of these. There was a guy, you know, who came back, and it's like, didn't I block your ass on my other channel? Like, weren't you acting like a hoe, complaining because you said I wasn't balanced? I wasn't balanced. He pulled that Christian shit, trying to say that I'm like evil. He literally went on some Hispanic guy's channel on his panel, saying that I'm evil. But I saw he commented on one of my videos. I'm like, you're a fucking hoe, man. And you're a military dude. You serve the U.S. military. And you're older than me too, bro. Like, it's just so sad. And like, you pulled this shit. You jumped on this Hispanic guy's fucking panel. Like, you didn't call me by name, but you're basically trying to, you're insinuating and you're saying I'm evil and I'm not balanced and I only criticize blacks. And like, here you are, like over a year later, you're commenting on my videos. You're a fucking hoe, man. And I look at that. I immediately had to block on the spot because I already blocked you on my other channel. It's just some weak shit. I don't respect dudes like you're a military guy too, bro. Like, I have respect for law enforcement and military. I was like saying, you guys are my best buddies, but you're a mulatto dude, and you want to pull some weak bitch shit like that on me. You don't want to be a man and hit me up behind the scenes. You ran to some fucking old ass weak Hispanic dude who's a fucking clout chasing punk. We all know who he is. You know, he doesn't, interloper guy, not Immortal Technique, some old dude who's like a fat old guy who's just a simp. And it's like, you jump on his panel to like call me evil on some fake ass Christian shit. And it's like, man, and I saw you comment on one of my videos. I'm like, what are you doing here, bro? Like, it's these type of dudes who never like want to put themselves out here to challenge the rhetoric or put material out here for other mulattoes. And it's like, but then you come back like a hoe. That's the thing, like a hoe, like a bitch. And I'm sitting there like, how can you have the balls to do that? Like for me as a man, I couldn't do that. If I fell out with some guy and I had disagreement with, and it was well known that our ideology, we just don't agree with, we don't vibe. But it's like, if I come back, that's like admitting defeat. But there's these dudes I've run into, these mulatto dudes, like they come back. It's like, I cannot respect you, bro. I rather with a black person with the Bantu than I rather deal with you, some weak ass mulatto bitch who's a punk who wants to smear my name and simp and shit for Hispanics or whatever. Just that's it. This guy's case, I saw him simping, and it's like I rather deal with other people than deal with a person like you. It was such an L to see you post a comment trying to act all cool, kind of squeeze through the back door through one of my other kind of backup channels, whatever. I'm like, you cannot make this up. This is so weak, bro. And you're older than me. You're a veteran. You're a military dude. I can't respect that bitch shit. Some of these guys you just run it. It's just too weak, man. I just cannot respect this shit. Like, where do we find these? Where do these guys come from, man? It's let me play this clip. Yeah, dominant species from Immortal technique. Using racial slurs, but it's okay because he's Hispanic. Remember, it's only bad when the mulatto uses racial slurs, right? Because the Bantus want to have dominion over you. The whites can use they try to challenge whites when they use racial slurs. They have an issue with that because of the language, because the Anglos, the English language, they're upset because they developed the language, so they want to try to police something, have a little bit of control over language. So yeah, but this Hispanic guy, like I said, he was calling people cracker, and every damn song he has, he says nigga, and he doesn't like the word mulatto. That's the crazy part. He doesn't like the word mulatto, but listen to this. You guys hear that? That always like stung with me hearing that, even when I was like 17, 18 years old. I first heard this song. He said, I have a Black Panther mentality with the spick fist so you can get dissed. And this is a Hispanic guy using that language. But he's okay with that. Like in all his songs, he'll call people, even in this song, he'll say nigga this, nigga that, nigga that. He'll go into rap battles and call people cracker, even when the white guy's not using racial slurs to him, but he'll use it against him. But where he draws the line is with the word mulatto. Why is that, guys? Because he's from the East Coast, from New York. He's from that academically trained. You got Afro Latinos who suck off Bantus, who serve Bantus. They're part of that network, and they're anti-mulatto. And they got a ton of mulattoes who are part of that network and apparatus. Yeah, we're going to challenge their ass eventually. Yeah, once they know we're here. And they got larger platforms than us. They got larger followings, of course, because they're getting financed by the same entities, academia, and they're the safe ones, of course. They got huge followings, huge support, right? POC, leftist, LGBT, academic. Yeah, they got, and you got guys like me, little media platforms. This is all self-funded. I'm saying what I want to say. No other way. This is it, because these people think they can slide. Like I'm saying, I'm pointing out the hypocrisy. You got like Immortal technique. He doesn't like the word mulatto, but he's on record talking about, I got a Black Panther mentality with a spick fist. So he's perfectly cool using a racial slur against Hispanics, but he draws a line when mulattoes want to use a word that represents us. The hypocrisy has to get called out. Listen to this. Yep, he said he has a Black Panther mentality with a spick fist so you can get dissed. So this guy, this Immortal technique, like he's comfortable using slurs against everybody. But with the word mulatto, he has an issue with that word. That's the whole message here I want to point out. Then you put here, he is 25% Black, but wants to identify with Bantus, yet he tries to shame 75% white mestizos for identifying more with their white side. Make it make sense. That's exactly what I'm saying, man. It's people like that. It's insane. It's like, how do you make sense of this? And that's what I pointed out. Like, but if you listen to his lyrics, his music, he'll attack the white guy. He'll call him a cracker. In every song he has, he says nigga this, nigga that, nigga, nigga, nigga. He identifies with the Bantus. He's Afrocentric. And then he'll even use slurs against his own race. He'll say spick fist, right? And that song, I remember that, Dominant Species. I used to like that track. But I'm using that now as in reference to this sermon. But where he draws the line is the word mulatto. That is crazy. To him, that's such a bad word because of caste system. But he'll use every racial slur in the book. Do you guys not see the hypocrisy with hip hop? And Kendrick Lamar and the whole media machine, the Anglos working for the Zionists and how they're trying to undermine mulattoes. Do you guys not see the whole machine? And they're using some of these Hispanics in the East Coast, man, these academic Hispanics and like this Immortal technique who comes from that camp. You know, you got Afro Latinos and mulattoes out there who are Latino, who are working with Bantus against the rest of us. Yeah, and once more of this gets out here, more of these motherfuckers are going to get challenged. This is just scratching the surface. I saw this clip because some idiot tried to they tagged me in it, trying to act like they're going to show me something, or you shouldn't use the word mulatto because they had this punk Immortal technique. And I'm sitting there like, this is too easy. This is easy content for me on a Sunday night, up late at night talking shit. I'm like, Immortal technique is on record calling people racial slurs, as I just shared with you guys. But this is the same motherfucker who wants to jump up here and tell us mulatto's a bad word. Get fucking real, man. This guy's out here calling everyone racial slurs, using racist slurs. But the word mulatto is so bad. I'm trying to tell mulattoes, like, you guys see how this works out here. So you don't have to like me. I don't care. You bitches are still gonna listen to me. You don't have to like me. I always say that. I don't care. Because there's nobody else doing mulatto content like this. You bitches are still gonna listen. Fucking shut up, sit down, and listen. This technique guy doesn't know what he's talking about. He's just a rapper pandering, yeah. Even if they don't identify with Spain, they will still remind them by saying, yeah, exactly, not like us. Yeah, they say that to everybody. Yeah. Yeah, they want the women to identify with them so they can bastardize them, but it's the men they have an issue with. Yep. There's a reason Master P and Romeo look nothing like 50 Cent and LeBron James. Yeah, good point. Yeah, Master P and Romeo, yeah. I can tell you the Spanish-speaking Latinos don't accept back in the day. I have a Puerto Rican friend that his own father disowned him because he doesn't know Spanish. Yeah. That's an L. Todos los días aprendo español. I'm doing my part. Since 1924, mixed-race mulatto people contribute gene flow to a monoracial population. They only want us for the Caucasian DNA and possibly benefit from hybrid vigor. Yeah, exactly. They want to use our DNA. They want to absorb our European genes. You know that, Flowers. You're astute enough to understand that. They want us. They want to absorb us because they want our Caucasian DNA. That's why you see, I just shared on my community tab. I can bring it up right now. Like all these Afrocentric pro-blacks. And you look at all their partners are like non-black. You're like, how is this? And how is this acceptable in their community that they act like this is normal or acceptable? No other race, you can never find, these Eurocentrics. All these Eurocentrics, these pro-whites, their wives are all whites. All these white males, yeah, maybe they have like Asians on the side. That's very common. For the most part, what I see, the outspoken whites, they got white partners from what I've seen. But I'm not going to lie that a lot of these pro-whites, they got Asian, mistresses or whatever. Look at this. Phil Advice Show, Mexican wife. Some idiot tried to jump in the comments like, well, she's Native American. So again, you Bantus are showing your hypocrisy and lies. Because I thought you Bantus claimed to be the original Native Americans. Isn't that what they claim? That they're the real indigenous, real Native Americans. So they're admitting they're not. They're frauds. Because some guy in the comment trying to justify this Bantu's decision to be with this white Hispanic, he tried to say that, well, she's Native American. Doesn't look like one to me. Looks like a Spaniard, which she is. Yeah, she's got some admixture, which is this mestizo. It's Mexican. Like most of them, they have it depending on the region of the. Mexico's a big country. It's a very big country, Mexico. Depending on the region, it's the variation, differs. Where they have certain populations where they have more admixture of indigenous blood. They're browner people. They have certain regions of the country, the people are more Spanish, European presenting. It's a big country, Mexico. So his wife's Mexican. Yeah, some stupid idiot tried to justify in the comment, like, oh, he married a woman with mostly Native American DNA. Bullshit. See, that's not black. That's not Bantu. They don't even look the same. And they're telling on themselves because they're liars and frauds. They try to say they're the real indigenous, but then they're claiming this lady as being indigenous. Well, what the hell does that make Phil? Not indigenous. Big ass fucking zucchini nose. He's a dark skinned Bantu. They tell on themselves, man. It's just disgusting. I don't like your tone and language, Mala Vanguard. I don't give a fuck what you like, bitch. This ain't for you. Go take your weak ass somewhere else. Again, Kunrik Lemoist, another Bantu who's being weaponized by Jews, Zionists, and Anglos to be against a mulatto man. And his baby mama, not his wife, his baby mama, is a mulatta. Very typical. That's the standard, the precedent they set up in Hollywood and media. Okay. Boyce Watkins. He gives a platform to all these racists, like all these exotical little loser ass femcells. Don't they talk about that dark skin? What's her name? And it's funny because they talked about her skin bleaching, but a lot of these exoticals are skin bleaching also. What's that one dark skin? What's her name? I think it's Simone something. Is that her name? I forgot her name. Fuck. She's one of these. She talks crap about black males. She's like pro-black female. I don't know what the hell her name is. I forgot her name. She's one of these people, and he platformed her. She was her name. I forgot. She was basically pro-black before, but then she pivoted to the pro-black female. With Cynthia G is the same thing, but I don't think she was a part of the Boyce Watkins network. Cynthia G was like pro-black, and then she turned to pro-black female. Michi X, who's mulatta, she was a part of his network. She, went elsewhere, and then he got Yvette Carnell, who's mulatta presenting. She doesn't identify with us, which is good. I don't want her to. And but she's ADOS person, right? But she was a part of the network. I forgot the first lady I named. What the hell was her name? Simone something. I don't know what the hell. Like these exoticals were all crying about her and shit. Because she talked crap about biracial women with white moms, but a lot of these exoticals, they're not the biracial women got enough sense to not be with that exotical shit. That's the thing. It's only the dumbass biracial women who are siding with that exotical shit. Like those women, they're not a part of your group. They're just trying to steal your identity. What I'm saying is this clown right here, Boyce Watkins, look who he's married to. He's actually married, but after this lady had like several kids by some other dude, she curved him in college. And I think he has a kid by some other woman. Whatever, they're adults, they're doing their thing, but this is his preference. And he's so pro-black. His whole network is black business, black, pro-black. And he's so pro-black, he gets with the half-white woman. I mean, look at her hair, her facial symmetry, her bone structure. I mean, her skin tone. Jesus fucking Christ. This is the most white, quote-unquote black person you can possibly find. I mean, she's whiter than Mariah Carey, but this is very typical with these people. This is their preference, right? They're so pro-black, but this is the type of the people they hook up with. Very convenient. But then again, I'm not surprised. Everyone's favorite grifter, Tariq Fraud, another one, right? Mulatto partner. He makes the Hidden Color movies. He's selling movies and DVDs, spreading anti-mulatto conspiracy theories. But remember, those are targeted for the men. Just like what they're doing with Drake, they're targeting the men. They're targeting the men for destruction, but they want the women. And this is, basically highlighted here in this image. You have Tariq Fraud with his mulatto partner, right? This is the arrangement they want, as I already shared here with right here, Kunrik Lemoist. This is the arrangement. Like, it's pro mixed woman with dark skin Bantu, and then the mulatto man they're gonna throw under the bus like Drake. This is basically black community 101. You mulatto men, get a fucking clue. Figure it out already, man. Hey, this is all right in front of your face. Figure it out, bro. And then you got Professor Griff with his mulatto preference. Very typical. Just want to highlight that. We already know what time it is. Can anybody challenge me on that? No. They got to talk about it hominums, how I look, which I don't give a shit. I'm a dude. I got a dick and balls and some fucking fists and knuckles. I'm a dude. It's not my job to be pretty out here. Mulatto people are the mixed race outbreeds from generations of monoracial inbreeding. No, it wasn't Takashi that said that. It was Mexican OT. Royal families are keenly aware of how important mixed race mulatto people are. Yeah, good point. Shout out to you, Flowers. Appreciate you, Flowers, as always. And Joe puts here, Charlemagne was telling biracials to stay home when Kendrick did the pop out. I remember that. And DC is the one who shout out to DC. She brings a lot of stuff to me. Shout out to her. She just sends me links and, hey, check this out. So shout out to her. And she told me about that too. Yeah, I didn't even know. Yeah, Charlotte, I played that like over a year ago or when Kendrick did the pop out, because DC told me about that. And it was like, what the hell? This Charlemagne guy literally publicly said, oh, biracials, y'all might want to stay at home. Kendrick, black ass Kendrick, is gonna play Not Like Us. It's on, I don't know if it's this channel or my other, because I switched up and started doing all my lives over here. My other mulatto history channel, guys, I'm gonna clean that way up and basically just all history stuff, which I know a lot of you guys, you don't like. You just want this other stuff, but the mulatto history channel, I'm gonna get monetized and just basically all just pure history stuff. But I think I did it on that channel where I covered this, because DC brought to my attention. Yeah, the Charlemagne guy was publicly saying, oh, you biracials, might want to stay home because black ass Kendrick is going to do Not Like Us at the pop out. But then you still have stupid blacks running in my comments talking about Not Like Us is because Drake is from Canada. He pretends to be a part of the culture. I'm like, his dad's Black American. Drake's dad, he was singing songs, Lauryn Hill songs with his dad's when he was like 9 years old. What are these blacks talking about? They're liars and frauds. Like they jump in our comments and act stupid. They want you to act stupid with them. I'm not doing it, man. Like, I'll be the bad guy and racist. I don't give a shit. I'm not playing stupid with you people. And you got Charlemagne, who literally publicly told you biracials, stay at home. And it's right in your face. To me, I'm not upset with Bantus. I already know they're scammers, what they're going to do. That's what a lot of their nations, they're known for, being scammers. They got the Indians beat, they got every other race beat. All right, they're known for scammers. Okay, clip that, report that, it's on record. That's what they're known for. I already know what they're going to do. They're going to lie, cheat, and scam you. It's the mulattoes who don't call it out. That's my issue. It's right in front of your face. Charlemagne's telling you, oh, you biracials, you might want to stay at home because his words, not mine. Charlemagne said black ass Kendrick is going to sing Not Like Us. So you biracial stay at home. And I'm like sitting there like, what the fuck, man? What the fuck? What and these biracials are just a lot of them are just straight up punks. They sit here and act stupid. I don't like your delivery. My mama's black and I was raised with black people and I don't like your delivery, Lotto Vanguard. Well then fuck you then, bitch. You're not checking these people disrespecting me and other people like me. You're not like checking them because you got some like, tie or connection. Stay your ass over there with Charlemagne. Fuck out of here. I'm so sick of these cowards, man. It's ridiculous. Well, let me finish your comment. Shout out to you. You put Kendrick Lamar at the pop-up show, but apparently a Mexican rainbow dude, 6'9", saying the N-word in front of him is not a problem. Of course, because he's a punk. He's a Bantu punk. So like all the Fat Joe and South Park Mexican, SPM, Immortal Technique, Takashi Snitch 9. Someone said it was some like OT, Mexican OT. Someone said, I don't know. They're punkin' Bantus. This guy right here says right here, Mexican OT. He said Mexican, they're punking these fucking Bantus. Yeah, so when the Mexicans in front of the Bantu, all of a sudden, oh, SA, you can say whatever you want. It's all good, fool. It's all good, dog. Let us get some panocha, homie. It's all good, fool. Right? Yeah, it's only because they try to G-check and pull rank. I tell you, they try to pull rank on the mulatto. That you have to identify with the Bantu to be a part of his club. Why? What do you get from it? They're not paying you. They're not paying you. At best, they're dancing and singing from you, but you do that better than them. I mean, we got Drake. What I just played a Drake track, the Drake record. He's singing, dancing. He's better than them. We got Pink Panthers. We got mulattoes. You're better than them. And NYC, Empire State, is the capital of the liberal fucktards. And that's where Trump is from. He's a New Yorker, the Empire State, because Trump is a fucking liberal, but he's a oligarch, a globalist, bought and paid for, sucking off Israel, sucking off the Russians. He's bought and paid for. Now, he's so conservative. Yeah, okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, he's from New York. He's from that empire. And it's all liberals. It's insane. That's where that rhetoric comes from with the Immortal Technique. Yeah, it's the wokest place in the damn country besides New York. Besides, San Francisco, right? New York, San Francisco. Because Los Angeles, and I'm from California. Most of the state is conservative besides the Bay Area, San Francisco, and then maybe in Southern California, San Diego is conservative. I'm from Orange County, very conservative. Los Angeles, yeah, it's liberal, but that's it. The rest of the state is conservative. Riverside, Imperial Empire, Kearns County, San Bernardino County. Most of California is right, conservative. It's only the Bay Area that's super like liberal, the tech oligarchs, etc. Right? What do they called him? Moist Twatkins. I think I heard Minister Jap say that shit before. Why are they always blue in California? I don't know. Because the political power, it's the wealthiest state in the nation. I have no idea why it's blue. I mean, as far as the state level elections, like the governor level, it's blue pretty much. Yeah. Like Gavin Newsom or New Scum, whatever you want to call it. I left the state, man, during that whole 2020 and shit. It was 2021. I left. I went to Nevada. I was like, fuck out of here. I went to Vegas, which is close enough, but I just got the hell. I'm born and raised in California, but I had to get the hell out, man. I mean, just a pro illegal sanctuary state, not even sanctuary city. You're from, LA or whatever, San Francisco, San Diego, whatever. Like, it's sanctuary state. I mean, the illegals provide a bigger part of the economy. They have a lot of political power. Your senators, Cape, even Kamala. I voted for Kamala to be the senator in California. And I remember like she was big pro illegal, pro Arab refugee, pro LGBT. I was like, what the hell? You ran your campaign as like a quote unquote black female or half black, whatever the hell she is, Kamala. And she won politically. She has a lot of power in that state, and she won. She rose to the ranks. She's probably one of the most powerful women in politics in the United States. Kamala Harris, she's pretty sophisticated. You know, she lost a presidential whatever race, but I mean, I'm from California. Like, she got a lot of power very fast. There's no other woman I've seen acquire that much power in the time that she did. You know, from being a district attorney, winning the senator race, which, you know, it was pretty interesting. I voted for her and she did win that race, but then she went to be VP. It's just her ascension within politics is pretty interesting. She acquired a lot of power very quickly, very fast. Kamala Harris, and yeah, it's a blue state. I don't know. I feel like it's in those kind of cities, you know, like San Francisco, Bay Area. I feel like San Diego is the county. It's mostly red. I mean, maybe in a downtown area, Mission Beach or whatever, it's blue. Most of California, from what my observation, it's red. It's funny, yeah. You had to protest. I forgot during the 2020, like the George Floyd. It was somewhere in California. I forgot exactly. It was somewhere in the Inland Empire. I forgot exactly what town it was, but they did have protests, and they were like pro right wing protests, right, against opposition to like the George Floyd type of shit. In this place, there was a bunch of Hispanics, a bunch of Mexicans, and people were questioning. I was like, well, yeah, that's kind of California. You have a lot of these like mestizos who think they're Anglos. Like, that's kind of part of how it is. Like, because they, like I just mentioned earlier on the stream, it's a simulation. They can just serve Anglos and just assimilate into their body politic. It's very easy. It's easier for them to do that. And what's his name was complaining about that, crying Immortal technique, but that's been the way it's been for centuries. I don't know how he acts like it's so different. It's like it's easier for the Hispanics to assimilate and become white. Yeah, no shit, because they're already mostly white. They're mostly Spanish. No duh, it's easier for them. You look at them, their hair texture, facial symmetry, their skin tone, they already look mostly European. Most of them, yeah, they're mestizo. They jump out in the sun, they're turned brown and shit. But all they got to do is get with the blonde haired, blue eyed, or whatever blue eyed, brown haired woman. They can just be white, change their name. Like, I don't know why Immortal Technique is acting like that's so like brand new or special. That's been America from the beginning. So I don't know. My whole thing was Immortal Technique. I really don't care. Just he needs to be quiet about the whole mulatto shit. It's not his lane. He's not one of us. I'm mulatto. I don't claim his ass. We're not worried about him. He needs to do his pro-wax shit and go back over there to Harlem, New York, and convince these Hispanics to suck off Bantus, be with black. They need to go do that. Okay, go vote for the Democrats, whatever, and go support them. Just stay out of our business. Okay. And please send these black identified mulattoes my way, please, because they're going to give me a major boost. There's a lot of mulattoes who need to hear this, who don't know. They don't even know I'm out here. They don't even know I'm out here. They don't know we're out here. We got our own shit, our own spot. They don't know. Please help me get this extra boost. More of them are going to find out. Super West Africans, aka the Bantus and the Mamdius. Los Angeles is a mess these days. San Francisco. Mixed race of black, white, and Indian. Who is that? That's Kamala. The problem with super sub-Saharans is in them. It's ingrained in them to be anti-society. You're a California dude, I think, right? Batista? Kamala Harris living room smells like curry. Curry smells good. I don't know. That's funny. I made some like tikka masala myself like the other day, a couple days ago. It's one of my favorite dishes to make, Indian dishes. So I make that often actually for myself. Tikka masala. Big cities tend to be liberal. Miami. Mexicans in California, mestizos, yeah. Mortal Faces and Useful Charts are channels that talks about the genealogy of Kamala Harris. You should check it out. Yeah, Kamala Harris, I don't really care about. You know, it's kind of past all of that. All right, guys, I think I blabbed on enough. I'm going to head out of here. Shout out to all of you guys. Alicia Keys, Lauren London pander to Bantus, so they don't call out Immortal Technique. Yeah, Alicia Keys, yeah, she's not going to call out. Yeah, she panders to Bantus. That's her market, right? I like Alicia Keys. Like I said, like I like Holly Berry. They're very talented both in their art, the acting, and music, but they both black identified, and that's an L, you know. Oh yeah, he said Drake hasn't called Immortal out. Yeah, Drake isn't either. I mean, he doesn't need to. Immortal Technique is nobody. Drake is the top dog, the king. I mean, these guys are trying to revitalize their career, bringing up Drake. You saw T-Pain, little fat, weak ass, dorky Bantu, T-Pain, talking shit about Drake. And I went to Carl's Jr. for breakfast earlier today. I was doing my business, running around in the city, and I went through the drive-through, and they have their marketing a T-Pain like box, a munchie box. They call it a munchie meal. You guys know that? The fast food joint, Jack in the Box, they have in the United States. Jack in the Crack, we call it Jack in the Box. It's a popular fast food chain in the United States. And they sponsor, I think even McDonald's has sponsored some rappers and shit before. They had like a Sweetie, the rapper, they had a Sweetie meal. So some of these fast food places, they sponsor like rappers to try to bring in the ghetto people to buy their shitty ass junk food. And you know, I guess I was kind of a victim, whatever, for breakfast. I went in to buy a breakfast sandwich, and I see like on the menu, it's called the T-Pain Munchie Meal. Guys, go look this up. Let me do a search. I'll share with you guys proof of this shit. T-Pain. I saw this today, this morning. So I'm like, this guy's talking shit about Drake, so he can get like a promotion for his shitty ass. He's a fat boy, fat fucking Bantu, piece of shit, talking crap about Drake. It's all like he's trying to get publicity and promotion for his little fast food deal. Look at this. You guys see this right now, right? It says it right here. T-Pain Munchie Meal. It says the Jack in the Box T-Pain Munchie Meal, a late night meal deal featuring you guys see that? It's got his name. See, it's all this business, it's all this promotion, this hip hop working with these like poisonous fast food joints. They're all working together. And that's why this T-Pain, this fat Bantu, is running his stupid mouth about Drake. Because he's trying to get his name out there. He's a failed rapper. He's trying to get his name out there to promote his little shitty ass product. You know, and he's already a fat piece of shit. And Drake, and they're trying to accuse Drake of like buying abs and shit. You see that? But they got the fat boy, the Bantu, making money with Jack in a Box, selling you guys poison. You know, you can't make it up, man. The anti-mulatto hate is crazy. They're going to hate the mulatto man for making catchy songs and shit, working out, but they're going to like feel sorry for this fat Bantu piece of shit selling you poison, selling you a munchie meal, T-Pain munchie meal. He's just trying to get his name out here and promote his music or his little business deal with Jack in a Box, because he gets a percentage off of every sale. They're going to charge you 10 or 12 bucks. He probably gets like a 10% or less, 5%, 1% deal. That's a lot of money that boy is going to make by having his name attached to that Jack in a Box little meal. I don't know how long they're going to have that, probably maybe a month or maybe a couple months, depending on the sales, right? Then they'll discontinue the product, but it's a major business deal. He's going to get a bunch of money, millions. Even if it's 10 cents at all these different restaurant locations, that shit adds up. You know, it's all a scam, man. These Bantus are trying to make money off mulattoes, and you got dumbass mulattoes identifying with them, and they're not getting a penny and a cent. It's an L. Black and brown coalition doesn't exist. Only blacks claim that. Never heard brown. Yeah, for sure. They don't need to claim it. The tragic Negro doesn't exist in literary or cinematic terms. It's a tragic mulatto. Yeah, but see, the thing is, he said tragic Negro because it's one dropping. Because he's one of these Afro Latinos, even though he's not even Afro. He's like 25%. He claims that, holds on to that to give himself credibility within hip hop circles. And that's why he calls himself Afro Peruvian. Come to find out, Immortal Technique, he's like barely 25% black. I don't know why he's holding on to that shit. I don't see anybody who's claiming 25% white. Look at the rapper Logic. That dude's like 75% white, but he calls himself biracial. Same thing with like Amber Rose. She's like 75% white. Looks like a white woman, but she calls herself biracial. It's like, so they're trying to hold on to that black shit. It's the same thing with that Hispanic trying to do that shit. Call himself Afro-Peruvian, talking all this liberal bullshit. That doesn't work for us. See, I would have left him alone. I don't care if any of these like, but they want to open up their mouth about mulattoes. They're barking up the wrong tree. That's all I got for you guys. That's all I got. Love you guys. I've been kind of hard. Some of the language I used, you can tell it's a little irritated. But this is kind of a thankless job, but it's necessary because nobody else is doing this for you. Nobody else is giving you this. So if you guys like the content, you guys appreciate what I'm doing, hit the like button, share the stream, support it however you can. And we're going to keep in touch because I'm not going anywhere. I'm just getting started. And I'm going to continue to make sure you guys get this message. I'll talk to you guys next time. Love you guys. Adios.